welcome back to the show. Now, our next guest, a Grammy-nominated band who achieved success with the release of their debut album, How to Save a Life, back in 2005. And their first single, Over My Head, became a top 10 hit in the US. The release of their second single, How to Save a Life, brought the band worldwide fame when it was featured in the promotional video of the Emmy Award-winning TV series Grey's Anatomy.
We're talking about the Fray, of course. Now, all four of them are with us this morning. I'm sure you heard the commotion just before we came on air. Joking, Isaac Slade, Dave Welsh, and Ben Wysocki. Good morning to all four.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, thanks for waking up early to come in here.
Yeah.
Welcome. So, Isaac and Joe, you two guys started the band back in 2002. You were schoolmates. So, whose idea was it really to start a band and to make it a living, kind of?
I think it was your idea. Probably.
We were both unhappy with our day jobs, so it became a escape.
I was making coffee. He was working at an auto body shop.
Good coffee.
Good auto body repair.
Yeah.
And we both schemed to quit our jobs and get out of it.
But when you quit your job and decided to do something that you both loved, music, I mean, was it with a clear vision that, we're going to make it to the Billboard charts, or we're just going to enjoy life and do something that we love?
I mean, we definitely were dreaming that way. I remember we got a job at an office building cleaning the bathroom, and every Saturday we'd go in and scrub floors and scrub the toilets, and he'd be in the other stall, and we'd be like, "Bro, we're gonna talk about this someday." Cleaning the toilet
on TV in Singapore.
On television,
we're gonna talk about this in Singapore. No, I mean we tried. I mean it was also just dreams, and we were writing songs in our parents' basements, houses, and, just.
But when did that vision become clearer? That we're going somewhere.
We were kind of for fun. We tried to be serious, but we weren't very good until these two guys joined probably 9 months later or something. And then everything got official and crystallized.
Okay.
And that's when we started talking about making it a job.
So Ben, Dave, I mean, you guys decided to join the band, so to speak. Why?
Why would you join these?
Why,
I'm
guys?
asking myself that.
They were cleaning toilets. I mean, did you think to yourself, this is a great gig?
Well, by the time we came, they were done with the custodial work.
Hard to make it good.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't an easy decision at first. I was kind of reluctant. I remember being like, well, I don't really have anything else going on, so I guess
How did they sell the idea to you?
Ben said, "I'm in 2 other bands that I like more than yours, so I'll join yours."
Which was true. It was true at the time.
If I get to keep playing in those 2 bands. And we said, okay, just give it a shot.
But did those other bands sell T-shirts?
No T-shirts.
Like the way we did.
No T-shirts.
Like we did.
But how things have changed.
Yeah. But I want to know how the name of your band, the Fray, came about. I mean, what was the idea? What was the rationale behind choosing such a name?
Names are funny because you have to get one that the website is not taken for. So we had a couple names that we liked, that I liked more actually, but the websites were all taken. One of them was available, but it was like a 80s hair metal band. I wanted to do Belladonna.
What was it called? What?
Belladonna.
Belladonna. Wow.
It would have been great.
That's cute.
But the
cute.
Fray...
Can you imagine yourself now being called
Belladonna?
I don't have nearly enough hair for that. But the Fray.net was available, so we took that. That's pretty much the reason we took it. Yeah.
Okay. And the songs, I mean, How to Save a Life and Over My Head, You Found Me, Joe Isaac, you guys both worked on that, and those are some of your hit songs. But again, writing the songs, I mean, can you tell when one song seems more on the right track than others? Do you ever feel like, this one feels better, this one's kind of more of a vibe? Yeah, I think this is going to work,
I think we've been wrong half the time. Yeah, so I think you get a feeling of you get emotionally attached to most of your songs, and then others there's just people around you that respond kind of immediately, whether it be your grandmother or a little your 8-year-old nephew, So
that's your target audience.
What's that?
from your grandmother to the 8-year-old.
Yeah,
It's a good test.
Actually, when our first song went on the radio, where I felt the moment I actually felt proud that I could actually do this was in Denver. My mom called. It was on an older radio station. She's like, "I just heard your song on the radio. I think you can do this." So it was no, but I think I feel half the time there's something special with it, and then you think it's going to go somewhere, but you never know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure all your songs are special because you write from deep down there, don't you? I mean, all your songs, they carry that signature flavor of being personal, of being intimate maybe to a certain extent. Is it difficult for you, though, to write it all out in your songs and let the people in your private feelings to know that your dark secrets, I mean, everything is out there, that's what you do?
Yeah, I think that for me, that's the hardest part of the job. Because the travel is cool and it's hard and it's fun or whatever, but putting yourself out there for everybody to, you know, look sideways and like it or not like it or care or don't care or, you know, subject it to all the constraints of retail, all that stuff is so weird. Because it's, you know, it's your diary and stuff. And
Well,
everyone's like,
it could be worse. We could be talking about Taylor Swift. I mean, you know, everyone can read her whole life story based on the music. Well, now you guys are known as also the go-to band for a lot of TV shows. You know, we've heard quite a few of your songs playing. And how is that? Do you imagine? Again, was that an area you wanted to go into? Are you happy it's more on TV than, I don't know, in other places?
We didn't really. I mean, it wasn't an intentional plan, but the way that sort of the whole music business and industry shifted as we were entering it was very much towards TV more than ever before. And like, it seems like 10 years ago it would have been the least cool thing you could do to get a song on a show, and now it's like
It's
as
cool,
important as radio,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we're really fortunate for that. As it tapped into a whole nother group of people.
It really brings in a bigger pool of fans. I mean, don't you see that? But one question, though, I've got to ask you. I know you guys just announced that you're working on your fourth album. Tell us more about that. I mean, the direction of where you're going. Can we expect more of the, you know, the Fray that we enjoy, or will there be a different Fray that we're looking at?
Dave, what Fray are we looking at right now?
Yeah. What's fourth record?
It is the same. I think the themes will be the same because I think that's what people have connected to, but we've definitely tried to push the musicality of it into something new. We worked with a guy who's much more modern in his producing style and uses a lot of electronic instruments. So, I mean, it will sound different. I think you'll feel the same things.
I think that's what fans want to hear.
You're all in agreement on this? You kind of came to an agreement on the kind of sound, the way you wanted to go in terms of the music?
Yeah, and partly it was out of the third record we made.
Yeah.
It was kind of a throwback for us. We went back to our producer that all of us kind of loved growing up from the 90s and made essentially a 90s rock record and kind of got it out of our system almost, and then came up for air after that tour and that record and wanted to try something a little more fresh like today.
Okay.
Well, we've got a few seconds for you to say something to your Singapore fans. What do
Yeah.
you say?
Well, we're here for Arthur's Day. Guinness flew us out here to play for a bunch of bold fans. So we're doing that tonight, and yeah, this is like our third time in Singapore. It's one of our most commonly played cities over here, so we
Enjoy the
just love it.
experiences here.
Yeah,
always.
we love it.
Awesome.
Glad to have you back, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks,
for welcoming
thanks.
me.
Just speaking to the guys from the Fray, Joe King, Isaac Saint, Dave Welsh, and Ben Wysocki, members of the Fray, and they're in town, as he mentioned, to play at the Guinness Arthur's Day concert, which is a global annual music event.
That's right. If you're a fan, do go down to check out the performance.